So, I am a Lilicorn and I have a passion for music. I have a singer-songwriter myself, and since I've never been to music college or whatever, I've never done music in education, so I figured I'd try to do it by myself, give myself own music education. So, this is my series about deep dives into songwriters and what makes them so great.
And songwriting with the Lilicorn, and songwriting with the Lilicorns, deep dives. And this week we're doing.
So, how did Taylor Swift create a fan base the Beatles could only dream of? How did she make it from the bleachers in high school to the VIP bleachers in the big game? How did she get big enough that you can't hit her? How did she go from a very curly-haired girl from Pennsylvania, very fair, throwing our demos out all around Nashville, to now being a superstar looking like this and cultivating such a safe space for soft people all around the world? It feels like your old best friend from childhood, who, especially for me, I feel like sometimes I feel a little bit distant from, sometimes I don't 100% agree with them, but at the end of the day, they're still your bestie, they're still in your heart. You'll still always come back to them, I guess. And I guess that's the magic of our songwriting.
I've tried to learn French several times in my life.
Can't speak French, so I let the funky music do the talking.
So, in order to understand how to be so good myself, I must break down all the elements that make her songwriting so wonderful, in hopes that that will make me wonderful too. So, I'm going to make it like a Pokemon. So, storytelling elements are the foundation, so that's air. Literary devices is how it all works together, so that's like water, because water has memory. Like, literary devices help create. Fire comes from the musical instruments, influences, and air is musicality, because that's how she gets the message to her ears. Like, that's how she makes the message sound good to our ears. Do you get it? Do you like it? Do you like that I've made her into a Pokemon? Or songwriting into a Pokemon character? It doesn't actually make sense. She's a world with all the elements. Okay, first, storytelling techniques. Approx 5 to 7 minutes. Not that I consulted any AI for this. Look, I'm creative, I'm not organised.
The first element is air, and thus we have storytelling techniques.
On multiple occasions, Taylor Swift has stressed that she prioritizes her writing.
Songwriting has always been the number one thing, the writing aspect of it. If I didn't write, I wouldn't sing.
She has also referenced times when she was a kid and she would rewrite Disney songs. It makes sense because our music does have a lot of magic. So I've categorized Taylor Swift with 3 different types of narratives she does a lot: storybook, bestie, and love letter. The first one is storybook. This is also sometimes described as glitter pen in the Swiftie universe. They're just where her peak visual imagery come in. So it's songs like Next Chapter, that's literally been in a book. And then the story starts when it was hot and it was summer and now and then she rereads the manuscript. She shifts a lot between first and second perspectives, but in the manuscript in Mary's song, it's the third person's perspective. Ooh. In these songs, she often goes between imagery lyrics and then follows up with how she felt about it. Like, and your mama's tell a story, you and T-Body. Talk about your past, thinking your future was me. Sensory data, and then it's a little bit of literal data. And these songs are often more linear and have more flashbacks to then and now. Especially like, the flashback starts with standing there on the balcony with summer air. Also then go to like the nuances of each events. Okay, next narrative is the bestie narrative. These are songs that sound like Taylor's gossiping down to the phone to you. And she's like, oh my goodness, you wouldn't believe it just happened. And I guess some of the songs are directed at someone. They use the word you a lot. But I mean, songs like, I think he knows you. There's this part of we're never ever getting back together. The part where it's like, so he calls me up and he's like, I still love you. And I'm like, dude, we're never getting back together. Like, ever. That's like very like bestie core. I feel like these songs are like more colloquial in their language, and she uses words like dude, babe, casual song, casual bestie song. Like, I've got something to say, I'm just so annoyed, I need to vent, girl. It's like down bad, and I'm so depressed, and like it's my birthday. Oh yeah, Do It With a Broken Heart is definitely like a bestie track. Picture to Burn is another good one, especially because she uses like, you're just a redneck. Hang on to the next one, Love Letter. This is where Taylor has written about how amazing someone is. Usually, like, there's a lot about guys, but also I feel like there's a few about like haters and fans and friends and even a little girl or boy ones, you know, the never grow up, don't you ever grow up. I've actually listed a few. Fortnite, Fearless, Last Kiss, Back to December, Red. Like, these are all obviously romantic ones. So high school, obviously. Oh, I love that song so much right now. I'm like really into it. I love the like of a great golden eye. It's so cute because you can actually imagine it and you get to actually see it in action. That's so nice. Other ones, oh yeah, Innocent is one for a hater. Change is one for fans, I think, or herself maybe. They're all driven by the urge to send love and appreciation. She paints pretty pictures to make the subject sound nice. They have great character development where she references the actions of the subject and then how it made her feel. It's more feeling driven. Okay, next. Right? Another part of Taylor's songs that adds to her quality is the use of proper literary device.
Second element is water. That is literary devices.
She uses a lot of similes and metaphors, hyperboles. I know she uses a lot. There are many metaphors and similes scattered throughout Taylor's discography. Good. Fresh Out the Slammer is a good example of a metaphor. Slammer is like a metaphor for the feeling that she's trapped somewhere, whether that's in a previous relationship or in her own head. Forever and Always is also a metaphor, also has a metaphor, where it says, it rains when you're here and it rains when you're gone. Get the sense here that it felt like it was raining. And she was so sad. It could have rained. Who knows? but I feel like it's probably a metaphor. You could also find similes in lines like, sometimes I feel like everybody is a sexy baby and I'm the monster on the hill. See how weird that was? This is why I sing everything. And the way you move is like a full-on rainstorm. I'm a house of cards. You're that. Like is the key word. It is the difference between a simile and a metaphor. Other literary devices Taylor's used in her work include allusion, which references other works of literature like The Great American Dynasty, Tortured Poets Department. Also, she references Gatsby a lot. In particular, Happiness is absolutely brimming with references to the jazz age classic. I hope she's a beautiful fool who takes my spot next to you. Oh, I get goosebumps about Gatsby. I do love that book. It's so magical, like just the glamour. It's a very glamorous book. And this is why we can't have nice things. Taylor comes right out and says, feeling Gatsby for the whole year. And just, yeah, you go, Taylor, with the Gatsby references. Her bookishness does kind of like go under the radar, and we're just like, where did you find these words? Books. I need to read more books. She also uses personification sometimes. It's like in Mirror Ball, but also in less obvious examples, like your eyes whispered, have we met? And death by girls and cuts, where she goes, as the traffic lights, it will be alright to say I don't know. It was a great love. I do know they don't talk, but like also, like I just didn't really think of that as, oh, eyes don't talk. Just pretty language in it. For similes, hyperboles, and personification are all parts of Taylor's marvelous imagery. To evoke every emotion Taylor needs us to feel in order to tell her stories. Her imagery is also where she describes a scene like in All Too Well or August, like salt air, no rust on your door. And it is Taylor's superpower as a writer, especially with her introverted sensing. Oh my goodness, I just love personality types. I'm like so excited. We're at this bit of the video where I get to talk about personality types. Okay, feel free to skip ahead. I think we'll be done. I don't know, I'll timestamp when I stop talking about it. So, according to MBTI and Eric Wen, Taylor is an ESFJ and I'm an ENFP. That is important information though, when I'm trying to like compare our songwriting, because she finds it a lot easier to reference vivid images from our past than I do, because my memory, I just don't remember. Like, I do have introverted sensing, but it's like my inferior function. Fun fact, Travis Kelce is a J2. I think he's an ESTJ, and it works so well for them. I think he has extroverted thinking and she has extroverted feeling. Yeah, like they both kind of get the need to uphold a good image, which is really cute.
Situations like that. The first game she came to, she just walked right through the front door. There's no like talking to security, making sure that she gets to her. She was just like, I just want to be around the family and friends.
She hasn't actually dated
other EJs.
a lot of EJs. No, it's a lot of P's.
If I was a dude or we were both gay and I was famous, me and Taylor wouldn't date, or we couldn't date, we wouldn't work out. That's really sad. So now we're part of a cult. I've got a cult. I've got numerous candles around me now. just trying to light me up. Light me up, baby, light me up. Say you did something bad, and why does it feel so good? That is awful. Why does it feel so good?
Word element is here, which is the musicality.
So Taylor has written verses in her head at multiple points in the day.
Writing just kind of happens to me. Like no matter where I am, 4 a.m. or in the middle of a conversation, I'll just get an idea and I'll have to like record it into my cell phone so that I don't forget.
So Taylor Swift always prioritizes a bridge. She goes on and on, mate, about how much she loves it. You could say she's a wee bit superior to the TikTok artist, you know? Can't find this video, but she says, I love when a hook reveals the whole story in that little bridge. Oh, I love it too. It's like her best bridges. Reveal all the emotions, like, now I remember that by 2:30 a.m. Slipping right out of my head, and I ran out crying, and you followed me out into the street. Also great at keeping to an era/theme. She adopts a lot of different styles. She knows exactly how to kind of fit her into each style, which is really... Someone noted in one of their articles that she knows how to like deliver a song to match the vibe, like her vocal delivery. This person used Cardigan as an example. So she uses her lower register for the sad bits, the vintage tea, brand new phone, high heels on cobblestones. When you were young. I can't even go that low. It makes me feel better. Was fearless. I wanna ask you to dance right there in the middle of the parking lot. Yeah. That's so weird. I'm not usually this way. I'm sure there's a bit about letting her hair down. There's something about the way she looks when it's just right. Yeah, honestly, like she knows how to craft a melody that's just so pretty. And it matches like every single emotion in the song. Like it has a different way of singing it to how what the emotion is behind it. And I love that. She's also great at keeping to an era/theme, especially musically. Like she's really good at incorporating different instruments to perfectly tell the story that she wants to tell, like the right kind of emotions, have the right kind of instruments. Also, they suit all the styles that she wants for each album. Right now she's got like a Victorian Gothic vibe. And she's got a big theme through her music, which relates to insanity and prison and dark themes. I'm trying to think of the actual instruments. It's just Jack Antonoff and electro, isn't it? So it's like mixing her kind of pop with her country storytelling. Oh, that's great. Such a good vibe. I think Jack Antonoff. He's really good at music, like the finding cool chords for everything. That you know when it's a Jack Antonoff track. It's like a lot, like the fun ones are really. It's a great description, isn't it? Oh, in her early days, she mostly kept the easy chords, which I still love. The G's and the A's and the D minors, all great chords. Although Forever and Always did teach me my favourite piano chord.
And at last there is a fire that burns so bright with all the musicals and success.
But, you know, you shouldn't ever try to emulate who you look up to, because if I had come along and tried to be just like Faith Hill or Shania Twain, it wouldn't have worked. So
I've read a lot about Stevie Nicks and Dolly Parton for this. They're so interesting. I got books out the library for it. I just needed it at the house. That gave me a reason. Anyway, Taylor has cited a lot of influences. Let's talk about them a little bit here. I remember my mom saying, she doesn't talk like this, open up a bit, you're too much in your own world. And I relate to that. Apparently the bands preferred Lindsay a lot at first, or she thought that. I think they liked her singing. That's it. She just felt like a singer. Then eventually they realised how talented she was as a writer. I think she just let them write most of the time. She's like, yeah, do you want, guys. She wrote Dreams, Inside the Bed. Christine McVie has a lot of fun things to say about Stevie and Lindsay's songwriting. She said about Stevie's songwriting, all Stevie's songs are like babysitter, even though most of them are rubbish. And about Lindsay's, Lindsay takes a song and treats it like a painting. Anyway, Stevie has also said about her own lyrics. Oh, I love it so much. I'm like your romantic fiction writer. I flower things. I toss in a garden here and a rose in there. I feel like Taylor's definitely taken elements of both of that. She uses the word painting a lot in her songwriting. Oh yeah, she said about haunted castles. Like, I don't think that's the name of the song. This is a cool quote though. Not witchery, not the occult, not turning toads or anything like that. Just a freedom to be mystical. Musicality is also a strong theme in Taylor's early works. Duh. The Enchanted and also later works, I guess. Yeah. They're burning all the witches even if you aren't one. So light me up, baby. Light me up. Taylor Swift sang Rhiannon with Stevie Nicks at the 2010 Grammys, which is a song about a Welsh witch, which shows Rhiannon's draw to mystical. Oh, they have such a nice relationship though. She wrote her name in one of her songs recently called Clara Bow. And it goes, you look like Stevie Nicks in 75, the hair and lips. Crowds goes wild at her fingertips, half moonshine, half eclipse. It's so pretty. The front woman of Fleetwood Mac once said about Taylor, Taylor reminds me of myself and her determination and childlike nature. It's an innocent that is so special and so rare. Which is so cute. Okay, Dolly Parton. She's from East Tennessee, where her maternal great-grandmother used to sing to her offspring. Their grandmother was part of a group of women who would like sing to just make the day go in, and I think they'd make up a lot of the stories and the songs. It'd be like songs about heartbreak and loss, and also escapism and fantasies. Yeah, that was all to escape the mundane, basically. But like, I feel like that kind of helps mold the Dolly Parton story. Like, that makes sense. Another quote I wrote down was, I've got hundreds of songs. Most people sit down and smoke a pipe, but I sit down and pick up a piece of paper. Oh, and she started her career quite young, at the age of 10. And eventually, she was in a duo with a man called Porter, who hired her for his project, which is very similar to Nicks and Buckingham. Fun fact, Jolene was written about at meeting a very pretty girl at a meet and greet, who was also like a schoolgirl. I don't know. It's fine. I think she just thought she was pretty. She had green eyes. She gave Dolly a photo to pass on to Porter, saying, and it said on the back, to Porter from Jolene. It brought up Dolly's insecurities she'd always had about girls around their exes or boyfriends and having to force herself to see them through male gaze, basically. I really want to do a mashup of Rhiannon and Jolene. They're so similar. Oh, also, my favourite thing about Dolly Parton in relation to Taylor is the fact that she made a crossover from country to pop. She said, "You wouldn't call my music country, you wouldn't call it pop. Why should it carry any label apart from the name of the artist?" Taylor Swift says Dolly's a storyteller for the ages. Taylor covered this song back in the day, like for, I think it was like a demo or something. And she covered as Here You Come Again. Yeah, and it honestly, it sounds like a Taylor song. It's bad.
You waltz right through the door, just like you done before, and wrap my heart around your little finger. Here you come again.
Okay, now on to Joni Mitchell.
For some reason, I'm stuck to her Speak Now artist inspirations. That kind of seems to me where she really solidified a certain part of her artistry. And I wonder, like, who was it then? I think it very much is Joni Mitchell. And that would have been a continued reference had Joni Mitchell not gathered her.
I looked into Joni Mitchell a lot. Like, I just kind of studied the way she carried herself back in the day. And it was so similar to how Taylor was as well. She has like the similar soft girl energy. Soft, awkward girl, blonde hair. And she also hates interviews and says being interviewed guarantees misunderstanding. Which also is something Taylor also like stands by too, a wee bit. Because she doesn't do many interviews and I think she doesn't want to be misunderstood now. Next influence, Joni Mitchell. She is a painter who approaches songs like her art. Taylor has cited Blue as a source for inspiration and our emotions and exploring our vulnerability. It also apparently read as highly inspired by Blue, which makes a lot of sense. Joni is also like has a similar pattern of like referring to imagery and then, but it's like in a different order kind of thing. Well, it's like she personified clouds in both sides now. Like, I've seen clouds from both sides now. And then she goes to, I've seen love from both sides now. And then life from both sides. So cool. But yeah, I'm sure Taylor's took a lot of inspiration from like the way she personified a lot of objects and that, I suppose. Or just the view and love, I suppose. Okay. Another fun one, Emily Dickinson. So Emily Dickinson is the woman who inspired Taylor Swift's whole quill genre. She's Taylor Swift's sixth cousin, 3 times removed, and they share common ancestor in the form of English immigrant Jonathan Gillett from the 17th century. He was I think he fought in the War of Independence. I kind of skipped over that part, but I just caught the part of the bit I was reading about how they said that he was a really nice constable and he was left people in awe. It's just such a family thing, isn't it? Also, Taylor Swift has directly referenced Emily Dickinson in works like Evermore and Tortured Poets Department. It's I Hate It Here and My Boy Breaks His Favourite Toys, which specifically references Emily Dickinson's poem Wild Nights, wild days and wild nights, and because she goes, those days of wild, do 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 do. So Evermore also has references to Dickinson's life and our love for Susan and Ivy. I want to know. And the actual album, Evermore, was inspired by those love letters because it ends it so forevermore. Oh yeah, and I couldn't be sure that I had a feeling so familiar that this pain would be for evermore. Tell the truth, but tell it slang seems to be a big inspiration for Taylor's just way of carrying herself through the world with her songwriting. Like, she tells the truth, but she just dazzles with it, you know? That's her career. And I guess also Emily Dickinson's career. Her story, she was like a town recluse, never married, obviously, because she was gay. Another reference to Emily Dickinson, especially, and I hate it here, apart from just being, I hate it here, just being a recluse, like Secret Gardens in my mind. She says 1830s. Like, I choose the 1830s when my friends ask me what year I'd like to live in. And Emily Dickinson was born in 1830, 10th of December, which is only 2 days before Taylor. That's mad. Conspiracies. Anyway, Evermore was released on her birthday as well, so that's really cool. I'm just imagining a bad post, but you're just a line in a song. And then there's, I got a blank space, baby. No right name. Is that not the same lyric? Yeah, Fall Out Boy inspired a lot of blank space. And I think the way that Taylor thinks, like, I don't want to forget how your voice sounds, so write them down, because I need them just to get by. Boy, won't you show me? Yeah, there's so much of Fall Out Boy in Taylor's, like, bestie narrative, I think. Another reference is the Dixie Chicks. Oh, Good Luck Carol. The video is so similar to Picture to Burn, and obviously she has referenced them a lot in Miss Americana in later years, but also even in her earlier days. Singing styles quite very similar to taught Taylor Swift the power of female rage and feminism in music. And I believe in yesterday. Yeah. Oh, back to the personality types. I see how Taylor loves Paul McCartney because he's really nostalgic like Taylor, and he's probably got a similar. I don't know. I don't want to guess it, but he's probably got a similar personality type. I turned to yesterday. The personification. Yesterday is a love letter. She says that him and Bruce Springsteen have inspired her lifelong music career. Bruce Springsteen is a big thing. I get to tell you this. Matty Healy, that's a big link there. He wanted to do like a collab, Bruce Springsteen inspired album for Taylor that fell through, obviously. This was a few years back, he mentioned it. And I looked up the dates. I went down this Pinterest rabbit hole of Bruce Springsteen pictures. And a lot of their concerts and a lot of things that Taylor likes, Fleetwood Mac were big in 1975. And so is Bruce Springsteen. Lana Del Rey is also a big influence, who I feel like has inspired her later years and taught her to be a bit more fearless with her work and giving her the license to just be as melancholy as she really wanted to be. Yeah, I think she's taken inspiration from Lana Del Rey's melancholiness and her intelligent lyrics. Yeah, and just stopped her from being afraid to just lean more into her kind of nerdy side, basically. And now, for the conclusion. The 35-year-old woman from a Christmas tree farm has earned her status through the quality of her songwriting. She is an expert storyteller with her versatile narrative telling, use of literary devices, and keen ear for production. Her musical influences from Stevie Nicks to Lana Del Rey show her ability to take parts of her world and share it constructively in her art, which has created mutual respect between her and other artists. She has been cited by many new artists like Olivia Rodrigo, Sabrina Carpenter, and Gracie Abrams. She has helped pop become more intelligent and lyrically complex again after years of meaningless recession pop. Blank Space is a good pop song. It was so so much better than a lot of pop songs at the time, which is really interesting. And I love that. Love that for her. She has given a voice to intelligent soft girls and given them a space to feel emotions they've been shamed for in other areas of their life. The way Taylor isn't afraid of being vulnerable and childlike in her persona is something I really admire about her. So, this video has taught me several things. It gave me a new lens for appreciating her craft. I'll definitely try a lot of her storytelling techniques, try and bet more to show and not tell through my art. The way her vocal delivery makes her songs is something also to consider when making my music. Try doing my music too. It's also introduced me to the wonders of her influences, like Emily Dickinson, Stevie Nicks, and Joni Mitchell, all of which I've gotten really into. Actually, okay, I already kind of knew the wonders of Stevie Nicks, but I've come to really appreciate Stevie Nicks now, I guess. And Dolly Parton, I don't know how I missed her out. Also, Fall Out Boy. It's quite a fun one. So what about you? What have you learned from my deep dive? I hope it's been helpful. Also, what is your favourite Taylor Swift songs? And what features of her songwriting, her storytelling techniques in this video, what points have I told you about in this video that you can see in songs? Like, my favourites change. It's like one of my all-time favourites and I go to when I'm feeling down. I've written, when I find myself in times of trouble, I put on change. I need some positivity and I can see her imagery and maybe an influence of Don't Stop by Fleetwood Mac, which is so fun. Anyway, yeah, hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you thought. This is one of my first deep dives. I'm not very confident talking for a long time in this yet, but I think I'll get there. And I hope I was somewhat bearable to listen to. My dog's been really cute. If you don't like me, you can just stare at my dog, I guess. If you want to, you could subscribe because I plan to do more of these in the future about other artists. Tell me what artists you want me to do next. I'm thinking I want to do Starset. Don't know if you've heard of them, but you should. Sleep Token. Also now I want to do like Fleetwood Mac and do like a proper deep dive into Dolly Parton, maybe. Maybe not, maybe I don't need to know. Just all artists. Maybe Ariana Grande too. That'd be fun. I don't know if I think I'll learn something from all of them, and then hopefully that will make my songwriting better. I think my songwriting's pretty good right now, by the way. Just saying, but it doesn't hurt to try and grow, which is what I'm trying to do. So, yeah, hope you like this. Boy. Boy. Look at my dimple. Oh, yeah. If you want, I'm gonna make a song. I'm gonna sing a song by Taylor soon. If you wanna watch that too, or something.